Okay, I'm trying to get this started. Hi, hon. So let's find out how this works. So after the first few days of messing with this, we'll find out what works, what doesn't work. After the first couple of 2 or 3 weeks or a month or so, you'll find out if you want to keep doing it or bag it. It's good either way. So it'll be whatever you want it to be. But anyway, so I thought I would take a couple minutes. It's a little chilly out here. Probably not down there. But I thought I'd take a minute and kind of go over, because I don't know exactly what tools you have. Um, I'm trying to keep the first set of tools that we use, not very many tools, so we can kind of learn to use those. And then I have several projects planned after this that will use more and more tools, mainly to build other tools, which this will be too, in the process. Okay? So what we're going to build first is a mallet. A mallet is just a big hammer for hitting stuff, and this one's made out of wood. They use them in woodwork stuff, especially chisels. One of the things we'll be using on this project is a chisel. It would actually be good to have this mallet to make this mallet with, but we don't. You probably have a hammer, like a steel hammer there, and you don't want to use those on your chisels. It just messes them all up. Okay, so we'll make do. I'll probably use a piece of 2x4, something we'll cut off to bang on the chisel with for a bit, and see what I can do with that. I think you guys have a rubber mallet. I don't know how that would work. I have one too. I can try it. And it may bounce too much to be of any good. But anyway, so we'll figure it out, right? Okay. So first of all, I went to Home Depot today and I picked up a 2x4. I was in my car and it didn't fit, so I had them cut it in half before I brought it home, which is fine because we're not going to use anywhere near one whole 2x4 for this project. We'll save the scrap pieces for other stuff. I usually like to have some type of space to work on to get it off the floor. Much easier to work on. Since I don't know what you have, I'm just going to use a bucket. I'm going to try and keep everything with something that you should have there. Because I've got all kinds of tools, but I'm not going to use them just to try and use what we have. Glue, wood glue. This is a tight bond kind. It's a good one. There's several good ones. I'll give either I'll buy it and send it to you, or have your mom do it. So next three things here. Okay, obviously this is just a ruler, but I like it because you can't really, it doesn't zoom in, but especially up here in the one, it goes down to the really small mark, so it's very accurate. And it's metal, so it's stiff. So if you want to use it to make a line alongside or use a knife or something alongside, it doesn't damage. This is called a combination square. Now, I don't know what type. We need something that makes a 90-degree angle, and both of these devices do it. This is called a speed square. That's called a combination square. That's a tri-square that's like this but fixed. This slides and moves around and does all kinds of stuff. A little more complicated, but either way. So I don't know which one you have. You may have this one. If you don't have one of these, I'll recommend your mom to get one at Harbor Freight or something. But if you put that side there, see that ledge up against that, then that line there will be a perfect 90-degree angle to whatever that side is, right? So it's relative to this side. So it's always 90 degrees at that corner because that's the measurement it takes off right there. Now, if we put it here, let's say this side was different than that side. Let's say this side was at an angle. It would still be 90 degrees to this side, but it would be off over here. So it's only 90 degrees for sure to the side that you mark it on. Now these sides are parallel, so it should be 90 degrees both ways. And that's going to be important. Angles do matter. Like on our face of our mallet, we're probably going to cut that at a 5 or 10 degrees, so even small things matter. Clamps, for holding stuff, you're going to want to do these. These are the first four I'm probably going to recommend that your mom get if you don't have them. These two are both 12-inch clamps. They're just different styles. And it doesn't matter which one. They're both good. Kind of hard to do with my phone here. But this is called a bar clamp. And so what you do is you use you push this close, you know, to take up most of the slack, like that, and then you use the handle to tighten the rest of the way to clamp it down. And then to release it, you pull these buttons back, and then it'll slide open. Okay, so this is a trigger actuated. So as I do it, it's just getting closer and closer and closer. And so if there was something in there, it would clamp. And then when it gets tight, it holds, and then to release, you push this, and you see it release right there, and then you just pull it apart. It comes back apart. Okay, but you want to put a fair amount of pressure on something when you're trying to clamp it. These little spring clamps, they're just quick, but they're strong. I think they're like 99 cents a piece at Home Depot. They're 2-inch. And you just get your work, you just clamp it and clamp it together. So anyway, those 4 clamps would be very important to have to start with. So anyway, that's most of what we're going to use, except for 2 things, which is going to be the saw and the chisel. Okay, this is called a miter saw. It's called a miter saw because an angle is called a miter. M-I-T-E-R, M-I-T-R-E, depending on where it is. But this box has these angles pre-cut in it. And it comes with this saw that has a stiff back on it. It's called a back saw. And so you would put your wood in here and clamp it. Oops, sorry. Put your wood in here and clamp it down. And then this is at the 90 degree. So you do it, it would hold it so you cut straight across. This is 45 degrees, which is a really common angle, right? Half of 2 45s make a 90. So if you cut 2 surfaces at 45, put them together, it makes a 90. So then you would hold that. See, it's better if you had to clamp it. I'm holding the camera with one hand, so it's hard. This is a bevel on the end. Now this other one, if you don't have one, this is the one I'll recommend that your mom buy. Has a couple of features. First of all, if you notice, it has more slots. It's because it has the 245 degrees, which that one has, and it has the 90, which that one has, and it has the bevel, which that one has. But it also has 22.5, and 22.5 is the angle if you were going to make 3 pieces to make a 90 degree, right? So you would have 3 pieces to change from one direction to the other. And that was how you would make an octagon shape, right? 3 pieces on each end to make the 90 degree, actually more than that. Holy smokes. 3, 6, 12, 13, 14, 14 pieces to make a full square or circle or whatever, oval. But anyway, it's got more angles on it, and it has these dogs, which I'll go into later, but they help clamp things in and hold it in place. And these can both be used either with a normal saw, which is what these are, right? It's a normal saw. They cut when you push them into the wood. There's another type of saw, a Japanese saw, that cut when you pull them into the wood. So completely different saws, different techniques. Whichever one you have, either one is good. I will probably use both of them just so you can see how they work, because I don't know yet which one you have. The other thing that we'll use is chisels. Some chisels are made out of different types of handles and different stuff, but the same rules apply. Don't hit them with steel hammers. The mallet we're going to make actually would be really good for doing chisel work. I have this rubber mallet, which you can see is thoroughly trashed. I might try it. I don't know if it's going to work very well. What I anticipate I'm going to use is just going to be a stick of wood. I'm just going to take it to hit and do what I need to do with it, probably. But anyway, so we'll find out. We don't really know. Since I'm limiting myself to use the same tools and stuff that you probably have access to there, who knows what I might end up using or not using. Okay, so I'm going to get things started here, and I'll see you in a minute.